Hey guys, Toolman Tim here. Thanks for dropping by my weekly workshop, coming to you from the frozen tundra that is East Central Alberta, Canada. For those new arrivals to our community, the weekly workshop features a compilation of my content from the last 7 days, including, but not limited to, inspiration for would-be side hustlers and full-time giggers, tool and gear reviews, and finding financial and lifestyle freedom through entrepreneurship. And also, if you prefer your content of the video variety, you can find it all at toolmantim.co. Thanks for taking the time to have a listen, and with that, let's dive into this week's edition of the Weekly Workshop. Hey guys, Toolman Tim here. Welcome back to the workshop where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. It's Monday, which means it's time for another money-making minute. And this week will be a special edition of Story Time with Tim. I got a good story to tell you about this thing right here. I was heading to the landfill the other day to get rid of this, and I decided not to because there's a story behind it. So hang in there, and I'll tell you right after this. Alright guys, real quick, if you're new here and you want to know more about me, go to toolmantim.co. That's toolmantim.co. Find all my social links there. Follow me on Float, on MeWe, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Odyssey, all of the fun platforms. Interact, become part of our community, share your knowledge, all of that, because that's why I do this. And if you're here looking for product recommendations or you got a problem that you can't solve, go to toolmantim.shop. I got over 100 Amazon links there to products that I've tested personally in my handyman business and in real life, products that have made me money, products that have saved me money, solutions to problems like, I got paint on siding, how do I get it off? I got to hang a picture without drilling a hole, what do I do? Check that out. Anything you buy supports this channel and helps me keep creating more content, and you guys know that I always appreciate that. Okay, so this week, a little bit different money-making minute, but I wanted to talk to you about this little tiny $19, $29 home light electric, I think that might be 16-inch long hedge trimmer. So you guys know I run a handyman business called All Seasons Maintenance, and on the frozen tundra that is East Central Alberta, Canada. And we all got to start somewhere. We all have to start making money. We all have to be heading in the direction of being financially free, independent, all of that jazz. And one of the big tenets, you guys will know, I finished up a series a few weeks ago at episode number 75 called Growing Your Business. It started out as Growing Your Handyman Business, and one of the tenets of that is starting with what you have. And so while we were under quarantine, of course, my twins ended up with you know what, and we ended up having to spend 2 weeks at home, and I got a lot of work done, did a lot of cleaning, built this nice shiny new studio space to shoot out in my garage, and it was time to clean house. This went into the, it went into the sell online, giveaway online pile. No biters. So then it went into my junk trailer, and I said, next time I go to the landfill, it's going. So we were throwing everything away, and I got to this, and I thought, my son's like, want me to throw it? No, I couldn't get rid of it. It's a perfectly good hedge trimmer, nothing special, but it had nothing to do with the fact that it was still a perfectly good hedge trimmer. What it had to do with was I like holding on to symbols, things that remind you of where you've come from, what you've done, what you've built, where you started, things like that. And this would be a symbol of the starting of my business. Two things. This one right here. Woo, Tim, don't knock things over. That's a $3 snow shovel that I bought at a yard sale the year before I started my handyman business. And that was actually going to be the name of my channel at one time, the $3 snow shovel. But I thought that was too much of an inside story because people wouldn't get it, wouldn't know. And anyway, it's turned into more of a tool review channel. But the fact remains that when you want to build something great, when you want to head in a good direction, the best way to do it is to start with what you have. Don't spend a metric shit ton of money on a whole bunch of stuff that you don't even know if it's going to work. The big thing is working with what you have and making small investments as you start. So this house here that my wife and I just bought, it was a rental at one time for a couple that we work for. And long before we ever decided we wanted to buy that house, this was one of the first ones that they had me rehab. and I needed to do some hedge trimming. And guess what? All I had was a set of hand loppers, and they're good, but they hurt the shoulders after a while. So the next time we went out of town, I bought this. I think it was $29. For some reason, I think maybe it's $19 in the States, but I could be wrong. It's probably a lot more than that now. But this, literally, there's nothing to this, just an electric thing. But you know what? This right here, this, we'll call it $30. Let's call it that, just to be safe. This $30 hedge trimmer got me through my very first summer of landscaping. I know that it's hard to believe, but literally I would show up at the customer's house, I'd find an exterior outlet, I'd run 100 feet of heavy duty extension cord that I already owned, and we'd go to town with this, and my helper had Brutus the Barber Beefcake shears, and that was literally what we made work. And you know what? I charged a decent price for the hedges, and I made enough to start buying. I bought a gas trimmer and all of that. But the thing about these and their symbols is they remind us where we started, where we came from. They allow us to not get such big heads, but they also remind us to say, hey, wait a minute. That's it. That's all it took. A little tiny. You don't need, $600 cordless or gas-powered still hedge trimmers or $800 backpack blowers, which are great. But you know what? When you want to start building something from the ground and get started, a $3 snow shovel from a yard sale is all it really takes. This even had a handwritten price tag on it. It's since worn off. I was going to throw this away, but I've held on to this. This was the very first thing that started making me money. Because before I even started the handyman business, I just started picking up jobs on the side, just doing snow removal. And you can see I've literally wore the edge off of the shovel, which is fine. You know, there was nothing special to this. It's a 24-inch shovel. I switched over to 30-inch ones later on, then to a Poulan, that's it. It was a Poulan backpack blower, which was so severely underpowered. But you know what? That was a huge improvement from my $3 snow shovel. And then now I'm up to still backpack blowers, whatever. It doesn't matter. But what matters is this is kind of symbolic. This is like the dollar bill that the restaurant hangs on the shelf. And it's cool. It's not about bragging, but it's about staying humble. It's about remembering, wait a minute, I'm not a big deal. Wait a minute. Just because I've built something really cool doesn't mean I didn't start where we used to struggle, where we struggle still sometimes, but where you come from and what you build from, you always start with something. And it doesn't need to be an electric hedge trimmer. It does not need to be a $3 snow shovel. But I'll bet you, any one of you guys out there who's already an entrepreneur, you can think back to that first job you did, back to that first tool you bought, or, sometimes on some of the Facebook forums that I'm on, people will razz people for, running a handyman business out of I want to say a Dodge Neon, not really a Dodge Neon, but a family car or a van or whatever. I don't care. You know what? That person's got that hustle. They're getting up off their ass and they're using what they have. So just take a minute, think back. Number one, if you've already built something great, think back to what that very first thing was that started. It could have been something you didn't even see coming. And maybe you've never even given any thought to it in 10 years since you started. But I guarantee you, there's people out there that have built something great, and you hold on to something. And I would love to know what that icon is for you. Now, the other thing is, if you're on the other end of the scale and you're just thinking about doing something, and it doesn't have to be a handyman business, it just needs to be something that heads you in the right direction toward independence, toward financial freedom, whatever it is that you're ready to do. What is going to be your $3 snow shovel? What is going to be your $30 electric hedge trimmer? What are you going to start with that you either got on hand or it's just something small that can turn around and make you big bucks? What's it going to be? So I hope you guys enjoyed Storytime with Tim this week. This was a little bit different, but I knew I held on to this for some reason. I couldn't get it out of my mind. I had to hold on to it. It's going to go up on a shelf along with this shovel because it's important to remember how you start, what started, what little tiny domino or card or whatever you want to call it knocked over to get you started that created something great for you, or what little thing is going to start something big for you and get you started. Whether it's taking cookies. I love this one, Ryan. I tell this story all the time, but taking cookies in the shape of your business card out to property management and realtors and that kind of thing, or whatever little thing it is. What's that one icon that's either going to get you started or get you started? And share it. If you've been there, done that, share it to inspire other people. And if you're just getting started, take that leap, put it in the comments, and let me know what it is that you're going to create that's going to be great. And you know what's cool about that? You don't know where you're going to end up. Because when I started this channel, at first it was a DIY channel where I posted two-minute videos of me bumbling along, talking about how to clean a window and replace glass in an old single pane window thing. That didn't bite. And then I thought, you know what I need to do? I need to inspire other people to start a handyman business. And you know what? That's exactly what I started with. That's where the genesis of this channel really started a year and a half ago. I put established 2019 because that's when the DIY videos started. But 2020, February or late January, I really launched this channel on Living Free in Tennessee podcast with a 10-part series on starting a handyman business with what you have on hand. And look where it's got to now. Now we're doing tool reviews like crazy. We've grown. We're heading toward 2,000 subscribers. And I tell you all this because you can do great things. And I love these videos where I get all fired up and want to inspire you guys to get the hell out there and do something great, because you can. And lots of you already have, and I bet you some of you are saying, it's time I did something different, more, extra, whatever the hell it is. So get out there, do it, and share it with us so we know what you're doing or what you've done. That's it for me, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care, and as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week. Good morning, everyone. Toolman Tim here. Welcome back to the workshop where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. It's Tuesday, which we all know means it's time for another edition of Toolbox Tuesday. And you guys, if you follow me on social, you know that I've started a rather large project, teaching myself a new skill of vinyl siding on my house and my garage. And one of the things it was time for me to upgrade was my SNIPS. So I picked up a 3-pack of STANLEY FATMAX SNIPS a couple of weeks ago. Been running them through their paces. I'm going to tell you what I think of them right after this. Guys, real quick before we dive into today's review, if you're new here or want to know more about me, toolmantim.co, that's toolmantim.co. Find all my social media links there, Float, MeWe, Odyssey, Facebook, Instagram. And if you say, Tim, I don't know what some of those are, go by, check them out, because I've got a really big presence over there. We've got really big communities growing, and I love to see people drop by and join and share their knowledge. And if you need solutions to problems, products, suggestions, that sort of thing, go by toolmantim.shop. I got over 100 Amazon links there to products that meet the Toolman Tim seal of approval. Anything you purchase within 24 hours after that from Amazon helps support the content I create and makes me eternally grateful. So thanks, guys. All right, so like I said, I have taken it upon myself to learn a new skill, and that skill is vinyl siding. Really never done it before. I've replaced a couple of pieces that have blown off for customers and that sort of thing in the past, but never really done this. I'm doing it basically through the school of YouTube. Watch a video, test some stuff out, see how it works. Testing it on the garage first to get going. And one of the things I knew it was time to do was upgrade my aviation snips. That being said, if you guys follow me, you know over the last year I've been kind of upgrading my EDC toolbox, my handyman toolbox that I take, because everything that I started with was all stuff that I had on hand that I didn't have to buy, that I scrounged up. These were the stuff that I had. They're not horrible. These are Crappy Tire, Canadian Tire Mastercraft brand. Up here they're kind of a in the middle of the road kind of quality. You never really know what you're going to get. They do have a lifetime warranty on them, but they've gotten dull, they've gotten rusty, they don't cut very well, chips in the teeth. I've just never really been happy with the way they held, that sort of thing. So I thought, you know, if I'm doing a multi-$1,000 job on siding, it was time to buy slightly better aviation snips. Now, I am sure that there's higher end products on the market, but I went, again, for a trip down to my local hardware store, Home Hardware here, love them, they treat me great, and I started looking around and found myself a 3-pack of STANLEY FATMAX, yellow, green, and red, and for most everyday average homeowners, you really only need the yellow ones. These are the straight cut ones, and these two will each cut, if you see they have, for anybody who's new to this sort of thing, if you're cutting metal and that sort of thing, you can cut circles to the right or to the left, depending on which color you use. But for me, they're all the same, at least quality-wise, so I'm just going to focus on the yellow one that I have been using. Fits really well in my tool pouch, which I like, because if you could see where I'm working, it's a pretty tight squeeze, and I don't want to have to keep coming back for tools. Model number is an F, as in Foxtrot, M, as in Mike, H as in Hotel, T as in Tango, 73558, FMHT 73558. 4.5 stars on Amazon out of just shy of 80 reviews. So not a ton of reviews, but again, you guys know I'm a die-hard yellow and black DeWalt guy, but I've been somewhat disappointed with some of the DeWalt hand tools. Love their power tools, love their battery stuff. And Stanley, FATMAX, you'll see there is a, there you go, there's the FATMAX logo and then the Stanley embossed. Yeah, I'm looking at it myself, not showing you guys. How about that? So I love my FATMAX tape measure. It's been my go-to tape measure for a long time. And again, like I've said about Gorilla products, sometimes when they hit it big with one thing, they decide to slap their logo on a bunch of other stuff. And a bit of that has been in play with some of the FATMAX stuff, as you guys have probably seen in some of my other reviews. But I really, really like these SNIPS. So there is, we'll get to the one thing I don't like about them afterwards. But let's, so you just, right there, push up that little latch, and they stay open. Now they're pretty wide, so if you have a small hand, you may need to start in here. And there is a pretty hard pull to them. Like, I like them, but you really, if you want to get right through the whole piece of siding, like where there's the two little crimps together, you got to come down on it, and that's okay. Nice sharp teeth, nice powder-coated black to keep the rusting down. And I love the full pull. There's lots of mechanical advantage in there. I'm not exactly sure how they do that, but it does a really good job. Easy pull, really smooth, no grinding, nothing like that. But like I said, you've got to have a pretty big hand to get the full pull. So if you want to start in here and then work your way back, you can do that too. With my big beefy, bear mitts, they work good. Cuts really straight, really easily. Just no fighting with it like the cheaper ones that I've had. So I, honestly, number one, I want to let you know, I really, really like these. Like a lot. And they're, I'd give it a 4, 4.5 out of 5, and they'd be damn near perfect if it wasn't for one thing. So let me show you first the old Mastercraft style, okay? So you push that in, that opens up, right? Now, if that stays there, I can go all day long, and it never gets in the way. No matter where that latch is, it always opens and closes. Now, the biggest pain in the ass of these guys, and I don't really know how to overcome it per se, so you open that up like that. Now, that's fine, right? But a lot of times when you're working, it drops down like this. Now all of a sudden, I'm in there, got my tongue kind of crooked, because you know what I do when I'm concentrating, trying to cut siding, and all of a sudden that stupid latch gets right in the way. So then you got to flick it back up and keep going. That's the only thing, and even, it doesn't even flip down all the way. So I'm not sure if there's a reason for that, if it's a malfunction or if there's a feature I'm missing, but that drives me to drink. That's the only thing. I love these. They're awesome. If you make sure you keep the little tit there flipped all the way up, you'll have a good day. And as you're working, which it invariably does, it drops down, gets in the way, and then you cuss and swear, adjust it, put your tongue back in your mouth, and you're all set. But you know what? As far as a good quality, what do you want to, just, an everyday average homeowner, handyman, maybe a carpenter who doesn't, if you're an HVAC tech or that sort of thing, you're always cutting ductwork, you're going to find something way better than that out on the market. But for everyday average guys like most of us, these FATMAX ones have been great. They'll cut 18 gauge steel or 22 gauge stainless steel. Stainless steel drives me nuts. I don't work with it much anyway, but yeah, for this to be able to cut that, no problem at all. And they each weigh about a pound. The entire package is just over 3 pounds. And you know what? These will serve me well for a long time. So if you're, if you're looking for an average, really good quality, should last you as long as you're going to need them, as long as you're not, like I said, an HVAC technician or something like that. These Stanley FATMAX 3-pack aviation SNIPS are, they're the cat's ass. I know you guys love my old funny sayings. I guess I get them from you know, my dad and then his father and that sort of thing. But yeah, so there they are. They work great. There's even a lanyard hold there, or of some sort. You could put a clip through if you wanted to hang it off a belt, that sort of thing. But they fit down inside of my tool pouch really well. I'm happy with them. They work good. If you guys have had any run-ins with these, positive, negative, leave them in the comments below. If you've got another set of aviation snips that you recommend, let me know, because I like hearing that from you guys as well. And if you really enjoy these videos, take a minute, share them on social. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, hang around, become part of our community, because that's what we're here for, to share our love of tools, to help see each other succeed, and to share information with one another. So guys, thanks as always. I always appreciate you dropping by the workshop, and as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week. Hey guys, Toolman Tim here. Welcome back to the workshop, where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for the flagship video series of the week, my Tool Time Gear Review. And this week I have got for you my single most requested video, and that is a follow-up from my original review on my Firman tri-fuel generator. I'm going to tell you what my thoughts were after having an unexpected power outage. I'm going to answer my top 5 questions I get asked all the time about this that people can't seem to find answered anywhere else. So hang in there. I will be right back. Alright guys, real quick, if you're new here and you want to know more about who this feller here is, go to toolmantim.co. That's toolmantim.co. You can find all my social links there, become part of our community, interact, share your information, share your knowledge. We love to hear that here. We love to interact and share. And if you're looking for recommended products, run by toolmantim.shop. I got over 100 Amazon links there of products I've tested in my handyman business that have either made me money, saved me money, or solved problems like I spilled paint on vinyl siding, what do I do? Or I got to hang a heavy picture on a wall and I can't drill a hole because the homeowner doesn't want me to. What do I use? So run by there, check that out. Anything you pick up will help support this channel and the content I create, and I will be eternally grateful. So thanks, guys. Okay, so single-handedly, this video, the original Firman tri-fuel generator video from just over 3 months ago, has caused huge growth on my channel. It's the closest I've come to a viral video. I get a ton of interaction on this video, getting almost 1,000 views every 2 days. It's obviously a product people want to know about. People have asked me ever since I've done it, what do you think of it? Follow up, let us know what you think. Question XYZ. So, first off, I want to let you know, normally when you buy a generator, it's just like buying an umbrella. You buy an umbrella because it's supposed to rain, but it doesn't rain. It's the best insurance for not getting rain. Same with snow blowers. So I expected I would buy this generator, and other than my bi-monthly, semi-monthly, whatever, every 2 months, pull it outside, start it up, run it, put a load on it, kind of maintenance, I probably wouldn't need it for a while. Well, boy, was I wrong. So about 3 weeks after we bought this, we had an unexpected, nasty, late winter. It was the last day, it was almost April Fool's Day, and we had wet, heavy snow, high winds, big drifting, zero visibility, and we had the longest power outage I've had in the nearly 8 years I've lived out here on the prairies. So I got to put this thing through its paces, and a few thoughts I had. I'll throw a link in the description to a follow-up kind of after incident report video I did just on generators in general. But as far as this guy goes, you know, inside with it running 20 feet from the back door, it didn't sound any worse than, say, a box fan running in another bedroom. As far as moving this sucker around, you know, it is heavy. It is really heavy, but with this wheel kit and the handle, I was able to pull it through that wet snow like nothing. It wasn't bad. Now, if somebody wasn't maybe quite as gargantuan as I am, you might have a little more of a hard time, but these big, thick, heavy wheels, they really make it nice. The handle's balanced, it's big, it's thick, it has a nice grip on it. You can really get a hold of it, pull it, and get going with it. So as far as it being mobile, yeah, absolutely. I was able to get it back there, ran a bunch of extension cords from it through my doggy door. If you don't have them, get some lid end extension cords, get some tri-splitters to have on the inside, and don't forget to plug in your modem, because everyone else in town was running 3G, LTE, 4G, whatever, and they couldn't get good signal. I couldn't get a good signal, but hey, the local telecommunications place had backup power, so as soon as I plugged in my modem, I was the only guy on my block with power, or with data coming through on Wi-Fi. So check that out. Anyway, as far as what my thoughts were, 3 words: I love it. It's not a Honda, it's not a Generac, but it is the best value tri-fuel generator on the market, and I really like it. So let's dive into the 5 questions that you guys are asking me the most in the comments, in social media, IMs, the whole works. Even people at the local hardware store wanted to know about this generator. Couldn't wait till my first review video got launched, and now people have follow-up questions, so let's dig in. Number 1 is, how heavy is it really? Now, I told you guys when we picked it up at Costco, it was friggin' heavy. It was. Took a lot for my wife and I to get it those 6 inches off the ground onto the flat cart, and it took way more than that to get it off that rolling cart onto the tailgate of the truck. And I should have asked for help. I didn't. But if you're going to do it, grab yourself 2 big, strong Costco employees to help you load that, because that's what they're there for. They love to help. I found that out afterwards when I bought a really heavy vinyl shed. But anyway, I digress. Get yourself some help. Now, as far as how heavy it actually is, dry weight, it is 212 pounds. It's something I didn't include in my last video. Didn't know if it was important. People wanted to know. So 212 pounds is a lot for 2 guys to pick up and carry. 2 people in general to pick up and carry. Now, I've been asked, was it part of the weight end of things? Is it a good camping generator? No, it's not a good camping generator to throw on your tailgate and go out with a tent. Or it's not a good camping generator to throw on the tailgate of your, 24-foot tow behind trailer. But what it's really good for, say you got an off-grid property that you want kind of semi-permanent power set up to, or you've got a summer house or a cottage on the lake and you want to build a little generator house and you want to strap this guy down, chain it down, bolt it down, maybe hide it, whatever. But you want something that is, I can bring it home in the fall when I come home for, after summer, but it's really enough to power everything. This would run absolutely that. Work great for a cottage, a cabin in the woods, that sort of thing. Once you get it there, you set it up. You're not moving it all the time. But it is 212 pounds without the fuel in it, and that's a lot for moving it around. But as far as, it's as close as you're going to get to a stationary whole home generator that you can still pick up with 2 guys or roll around with the wheel kit with 1 person. So there is that. Yeah. It's a heavy beast, 212, but it's not out of the ordinary for being able to move it around. Number 2, how often should I change the oil? And if you ask 100 generator owners that same question, you're going to get 100 different answers. Everybody thinks they know, and that is fine. I had my suspicions, I thought. Anyway, I dug into some of the literature with the Firman because I wanted to give you a concrete answer. And what they recommend, what their suggestions are, and to follow along with warranty practices, which we'll get to later, they say after your initial 25 hours of use. So if you're running it, 24 hours a day, the very first full day you run it, drain that oil, change the filter, the whole works. So after 25 hours, and then after every subsequent every subsequent 100 hours, they want you to change the oil. They recommend it again. So Firman's recommendation to fall in lines with their warranty guidelines is after 25 hours and then every 100 subsequent running hours after that. And even if you're not running it, you're just running it occasionally, change that oil every year. It's cheap, it's good insurance. Keep 4 or 5 oil changes worth of material on hand. Have a good funnel, which this one came with. Have your oil, have your filters, all that jazz. But yes, every 25 hours, or first 25 hours and then every 100 after that. So how much propane does it use? So this is something they don't advertise on their website. They don't even have it in the regular kind of like glossy manual that they put out there. But there is a longer edition, like 25, 30 page brochure that you can find. So I dug through the PDF and ended up finding out that, so the first one is, so this is all based on 20-pound propane tanks. The first one, it'll run 12 hours on a 20-pound propane tank at idle. That's basically useless. What do you need to know at idle for, right? So that tells you basically just running there, sitting there, doing nothing, you're going to go through 2 20-pound canisters every single day. Now this one's a lot more helpful. At a half load, you're going to get 6 hours. Running 24 hours a day, you're going to need 4 propane tanks, 20-pounders, to get a half load out of this for a 24-hour period. And a full load, you're going to get just under 4 hours of runtime with a 20-pound tank of propane. So I hope that helps. I haven't done any independent testing on it, but that's based on their spreadsheets in their paperwork. So, you know, it's going to be, I find manufacturers' recommendations are usually 10% one way or the other. So, you know, if you count on 4 propane tanks for every 24 hours of running, that gives you a really good idea of how much propane you really need to have on hand. And as far as natural gas, you go through about 100 cubic feet an hour. Way less of a concern, because if you're tapped into natural gas, you really don't have a concern of the supply being shut off. And if you do, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Have some gas and have some propane on hand as well. But as far as natural gas goes, if you want to be able to calculate the usage and cost at a 75 to 100% load, you're going to go through around 100 cubic feet every hour. Now, the next one is, everyone wants to know how loud this damn thing is. My first impressions were, it wasn't that loud. It was quieter than my Champion 3,000 watt generator, 3,000, 4,000 peak. I thought, oh, this isn't bad. And then some people said, man, that thing's so loud I returned it. It ruptured my eardrums and now I'm suing Costco. And other people said, no, this is pretty damn good. I think it's not bad at all. So I pulled in a couple other, so first off I dug into the paperwork, and this is rated at 72 decibels at 7 meters. That's about 24 feet, about an inch shy of 24 feet. So that gives you an idea. So then I went and found 2 comparable generators. I found the Honda EB 10,000, and that's an open frame generator like this, 10,000 peak watts. So number one, a lot of people would say, well, my Honda EU 2000 is way quieter. Well, yeah, it's a smaller generator, but even at a bigger generator, those inverter insulated generators are going to be down in the 50 decibel range, and you're going to pay handsomely for it. So remember, we got to compare apples to apples. So the Honda EB 10,000 is rated at 72 decibels at 7 meters, 24 feet. And the Generac GP 8000E, that's an 8,000 watt open frame generator like this one, is rated for 70 decibels. So 2 decibels top to bottom between Generac, Honda, and this here Firman. Now, I can talk about decibels. I can try to, play it, and you can say, oh, that sounds, oh yeah, whatever, But I went out and I purchased one of these guys with my hard-earned money, a decibel rating meter. And we're going to go out to the cement pad here in just a second, and we're going to run the tests. We're going to run it at 24 feet, we're going to run it around 12 feet, and then we're going to run it right by the engine, and I'm going to show you what the maximum decibel reading was for that. We're going to just run this at, we'll have it full open on an idle, but it'll give you an idea of what the sound really is like, and we'll go from there. So hang on, let's get this measured out, we'll get it started up, and we'll see how far out we are. .24 feet right there, so we'll move you ahead just a foot or so. Hopefully don't give you motion sickness. You can still see the generator okay. Okay, so there you go. Kind of in that mid 70s all the way up to 105 right next to the engine. I know they don't recommend doing it, but right next to the engine, the loudest it is 105 decibels. And it's really, really close to what the manufacturer says as far as decibel readings go. So if that gives you an idea, I hope that helps. Let's go back into the workshop. Okay, so I hope that helped a little bit. I hope that gave you some insight into how loud that thing was. And yeah, I'm sure there'll be people that say, you didn't do it right, do it this way, do it that way. Here's another suggestion, try this, try that. Oh, that's too cheap, whatever. Anyway, and for that, give me your suggestions and I'll do another follow-up video on this generator because I love talking about this generator. I love playing with this generator. Okay, so question number 5 is, what is the warranty like? I don't know if it's on purpose or if they're just, you know, they're not real good at marketing themselves, but their warranty is just not out there on the, you know, it's not very visible on their website or on the Costco site. Costco is very much, they don't have a lot of information on their site, period. So I did quite a bit of digging, and it has a very similar warranty. This all came from Firman literature. It has a very similar warranty to like a DeWalt type thing. So it has a 3-year, 1-year kind of warranty setup. So your first year is parts and labor, and your second and third year is parts. So you're required for the labor. Now, in big bold print, like a lot of this stuff, it says do not return to place of purchase. I'm sure Costco would do good by you if you did, but if you need it repaired, first off, you need to call 1-844-FIRMAN-1, F-I-R-M-A-N 1. And I got that right? I remembered. Good. Give them a call. They're going to try to troubleshoot through the problem because this is a big, heavy beast and you don't want to take it anywhere if you don't have to. When they've gone through all their typical troubleshooting, if they deem that there is a problem, they are going to tell you to take it to the nearest repair depot. They're going to tell you where. They'll give you an RGA number, whatever they happen to call it, and then they're going to give you directions to how to get there. Your responsibility is to get it to there, the place repairs it, and then you have to pick it up. They said they guarantee the work will be done in 30 days. And the really cool thing about their warranty is they also offer a 180, 90-day warranty for commercial and industrial use. So 90-day parts and labor and 180-day parts only. Not many companies stand by with an industrial commercial kind of use. So once you get it there, they guarantee they'll repair it within 30 days, you'll get it back. So I think that is a pretty darn good warranty if you ask me, as far as, you know, a relatively, I use the word inexpensive, it's still nearly $1,000 Canadian regular price, but anyway, a relatively inexpensive generator with a pretty good warranty. It sounds like the company stands behind them relatively well. So there is that. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this follow-up to the Firman tri-fuel generator. I hope this answered some of the questions. If you're thinking about pulling the trigger and buying one of these, keep an eye out on Costco. They do come on sale quite often, which is awesome. That's when I bought mine, was $200 off. In-store is cheaper than getting it shipped to you, obviously. But keep an eye out. If you're looking for a suggestion for accessories that'll make your life a little bit easier, I got my top 5 linked in the description below. Check those out. Go by, check them out. A lot of really cool stuff there. I don't want to spoil it, but take a minute, take a look. And of course, subscribe to our channel. I always have new videos coming out. 5 videos a week, tool reviews, generator, preparedness type stuff. So drop back by, keep exploring, keep sharing with us the different things. Any questions you have, give me follow up in the comments below because I want to know what there is that I haven't told you about yet, because I would gladly answer more of your questions. And guys, you know, I always appreciate you coming by the workshop and hanging out with me and spending your hard-earned time with me. It's humbling, so thank you very much. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week. Hey guys, Toolman Tim here. Welcome back to the workshop where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. It's Saturday, which means it's time for another workshop weekend, which is my favorite edition of the workshop throughout the week. Always love it. And I've got a good one for you this week. This week is a product review and kind of an informational thing. We're going to talk about the Eneloop Pro batteries. We're going to review this starter kit, and we're going to talk about the difference between the black and the white Eneloop batteries. So hang in there. I'll be right back. All right, guys, real quick, if this is your first visit to the workshop, take a minute and run by toolmantim.co. That's toolmantim.co to find out everything there is to know about who I am, what I do, my social media links, my social media presences. You can check me out on Float, on MeWe, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Odyssey, and of course on YouTube. Friend me over there. We can interact. I love to learn from you guys. It's one of my favorite things throughout the week is answering questions and getting new information from you. And if you're looking for a recommended product, something that meets the Toolman Tim seal of approval, go by toolmantim.shop and check out, I've got well over 100 Amazon links to products that I've used in my handyman business that have either made me money or saved me money. Solutions to problems like, I spilt paint on vinyl siding, how do I remove it? Or, even better than that, I got to hang a heavy picture on a wall, can't drill a hole, what do I use? All kinds of stuff over there. Go by, check it out. Anything you pick up from Amazon, from 24 hours after you buy that, I get a small commission which helps support the content I make here. So thank you guys, you know I appreciate it. Oh, for those of you who aren't familiar with Eneloop, number one, they seem to be, anybody in the preparedness, emergency preparedness, prepper field, anything, they seem to be the rechargeable battery of choice. They are, about a year and a half ago, I went all in on Eneloop. They're not cheap, but they are absolutely reliable. They last forever. They hold a charge, and they just seem to be the industry standard. And they're made by Panasonic. Most of them, the good quality ones, are made in factories in Japan. So look for Eneloop, look for Panasonic, look for manufactured in Japan. All of those are important, and these are, like I said, the go-to emergency preparedness rechargeable batteries. Now, I've used the white brand standard Eneloop batteries, again, for about 18 months, and I love them. I've been looking at these Eneloop Pro, the black branded. Pretty simple. It's easy to tell them apart. You can't mix them up. And I've been thinking, is this worth it? Is it something I should pick up? Now, this cool little starter kit is on Amazon. I happen to get it on Costco because sometimes their prices are a little bit better. And I like going on the Costco website looking for things. And my wife come out one day, she goes, honey, your batteries, your expensive batteries are on sale on Costco. She goes, what about the black ones? I love her because she lets me buy this kind of stuff. So I seen this starter kit of the Eneloop Pro batteries and I thought, well, we got to give this a shot. So I picked it up. Now, down the road, in another month or so, we're going to do a comparison of the different types of batteries I keep on hand and the runtime and things like that. But I wanted to do kind of a separate review video where I could fill you in on some of the ins and the outs of what this is and whether it's worth the investment. So I think this was like $65 Canadian for this little pack. So not cheap, but what the heck is up with Eneloop Pro batteries? Why are they branded black over white? Are they better? Are they worse? Are they more? Where do we go? So first thing I figured we'd do, let's check this out. So you see on the package, you see what comes in with it. And I think about 20% of the cost comes with this handy dandy kit that I will never keep because you guys have seen my soft-sided battery storage thing that I have. Put a link in the description below for that. That's where I keep all of my rechargeables. But let's open this guy up and show you what in the heck it looks like. So here's what it comes with. Really fancy looking case. I kind of like it. It's really neat. Kind of a molded plastic to hold everything. But it comes with two measly AAA batteries. I use mostly AA's anyway, so that's fine. Let's see if we can get these out of here without making too much noise on camera, hey? So there's that guy. Let's just go around the back, pop him out like that. Ruin the package while we're at it, hey? So if you want to see an up close, here are those sexy, sexy looking Eneloop Pro black batteries right there. There's the AAA. AAA has 950 milliamp hours. The AA has 2,550. They feel substantial in your hand. So with this kit, you're going to get two AA's, and 8 AA batteries, and what they call a Rapid Advanced Panasonic BQ-CC17 plug-in charger. There you go, right there. Pretty handy. So that's what you get for, I think it was about $65 Canadian. I'll stop saying that because it, anyway, but whatever. Anyway, they're available all over. I don't like listing prices because things change throughout time, but that was the price I think I paid for them. So this is what you get. That is the kit. It's a really good, if you hadn't started or hadn't got into Eneloop at all, this would be a really cool starter pack to get you going. I still only have AA and AAA Eneloop batteries. Now these are interchangeable. I like to keep all the same type, but where these are two different brands of the same company, the same type, I thought I'd give it a shot. All I had was my one expensive PowerX charger. I thought, hey, just in case, it's better 2 is 1, 1 is none, right? And I thought, why not get this for this little charger as well? So, what exactly is the big to-do about these black Eneloop batteries? Well, number one, and I'm going to have to read just a little bit here, guys, because I'm not good enough to remember all these numbers off the top of my head. So if I look down occasionally, it's not because I'm ignoring you, it's because I'm old and I can't remember shit. So anyway, all right. So if we want to compare apples to apples, or we want to know, is the cost of the black worth the investment over the white? What's the difference? So you'll see on the packaging here, well, number one, it's charged in a factory that's powered by solar power. So your initial charge is green energy. So if that's important to you, just so you know. Anyway. So the big thing with these suckers is they have about a 25% capacity higher than the original white Eneloop batteries. These are 2,550 in the AA and 2,000 milliamp hours in the white ones. So if your only consideration is total energy capacity in a rechargeable battery, this is the way to go. Now, let's dig in a little deeper, however. So you're paying more for these batteries, you're getting a higher capacity. Great. But the amount of recharges, so over the lifespan of a battery, and this is where all this stuff's going to get a little bit technical, but anyway, the amount of recharging cycles on the black is 500. Now, you might say, well, Tim, I'm never going to use it 500 times, and you're probably right. So maybe this is a stat that is meaningless, but I'm going to tell you for all you battery geeks out there too. This is good for 500 recharge cycles throughout its life. You would have to charge that once a week for 10 years to wear this out. And I don't charge any of my batteries once a week, let alone mainly once a month. But that being said, the other one, the white Eneloops, are good for 2,000 charges. So you could literally charge them once a week for, oh dear, 50 weeks into 20 years. What, 1,000? 20 years? Yeah, anyway. What's wrong with me today? My math. So, yeah, these are good. You'll get 4 times the amount of recharge cycles out of them with the white over the black. So, you know, is that a really big deal? I'm not so sure, because simply stated, who's going to recharge a battery 500 times in their life before you lose it anyway? So that may or may not be. Now, long-term storage. That's important as well, because I love to set it and forget it. Any system I can set up and not have to worry about it, I am happy. So, with rechargeable batteries, another concern is how long can stuff stay charged in storage? Now, I got to read this to you too, so I'm sorry. The storage life on the standard Eneloops, they will lose around 30% after 10 years in storage. So they still have a 70% full charge, 70% of the full charge after 10 years, an entire decade. And if you're storing these for 10 years, maybe you should just buy some Duracells and stash them aside, but that being said, so that shows you get 30% decrease over 10 years. The black ones, because of their higher capacity, will lose 15% in the first year. Again, negligible, but I don't know. So yeah, you're going to keep 70% for 10 years with the white batteries, and you're going to lose 15% in the very first year. I think intentionally don't break that down over a 10-year period, because I'm thinking they won't last that long. But that being said, due to the higher capacity, they seem to lose their juice quite a bit quicker, 15% after the first year. So that's another one. So like I said, if overall consideration, if your only consideration is capacity, this is the way to go. If you're looking for longevity, then I would probably say look at the standard Eneloop white batteries. Now, something else I wanted to talk about was cost. So I'm not going to use dollars, but I'll use percentages and that sort of thing, because again, not really supposed to list pricing, because number one, it's not good for affiliate sales, but the main thing is things just change. And if I tell you a price right now, in a week, somebody's going to post a nasty comment in the comments below saying, you lied about this price. And you're right. That's why I don't like to list pricing. But when I bought these, a 16-pack of AA standard Eneloops were $40 on Amazon. The same 16 In black, we're 65. So almost a 50% increase in cost. So for a 25% increase in capacity, you're looking at 1.5 times the cost of the white. In my mind, I can probably buy a lot more white batteries for that extra 50% increase. But again, if you need high capacity, this is definitely the way to go. Now, a couple other things I'll throw at you. Remember, these are damned expensive batteries. You know, the black ones I think are close to $4 a battery. So a couple of life pro tips that I always try to throw into my battery videos. Number one, remember, well, don't rely on your brain for this, but keep a notepad in your phone, and every time you put some of these rechargeable batteries in it, I always put where the battery went, what the date was, and how many I put there. So then when I'm needing to know where my rechargeable batteries are, I can go get them. That's number one, because if you don't, invariably you'll be like, oh yeah, I'll remember where that is. 2 weeks later, where the hell did I put those batteries? Honey, and then I'll spend, 2 hours looking through the house, looking for those batteries. She'll be like, just leave it alone, it's okay. Be like, honey, where did I leave them? I can't remember, I should have. And, so write it all down in a notepad on your phone. Yeah, that's important. And number two, something else that I do, because I have adult kids, and I'm sure I've told you this story before, but keep regular throwaway batteries on hand as well. Number one, I keep a bunch of Kirklands on hand for my twins upstairs when they're playing Xbox. They go through batteries like there's no tomorrow. So I give them the Kirkland ones just because they're inexpensive. But the more important thing is when your kids knock on the door and they come, or somebody says, hey Tim, do you have batteries? Oh yeah, I've got batteries. And then you reach into your junk drawer and you give them an 8-pack of Sunbeam batteries. They're like, oh no, I don't need that many. You're like, take them. I paid $1.25 at Dollar Tree. I don't tell them that, but that's what I paid. You can have them. They're only going to last you a couple hours, but it'll get you by for what you need. Kirkland, what is it, a 48-pack for $18 or something. So I don't mind giving a handful of those batteries away, but I will be damned if I'm going to give away my Eneloop batteries. We sold or gave it away for free. We had an LED outdoor umbrella, and the guy came to get it, and I was going out to the shop to pick it up, and I panicked because I realized I had 4 of my Eneloop batteries in there, and I had to find a screwdriver. I said, you got to wait, man, I'm sorry. And I was like 15 minutes trying to find the tools to take it apart, but I was not sending 4 of my Eneloop batteries away with some stranger because they're my babies. But yeah, so keep some extra batteries. What I do, when you guys get like, the wife always gets me flashlights or little gadgets and stuff for Christmas, and they always come with a shrink wrap pack of 2 or 3 batteries, and they're great, but they don't last very long. I throw them in my junk drawer as well. I always put brand new or fresh recharged Eneloops into my devices, and all those go into the junk drawer. Those are the batteries that I give to other people when they need them, and that's great. And I don't mind giving a handful of those away because I don't care if I'm not, because whatever you give to somebody, you're not, just plan on the fact that you're not going to see it. You're never going to get it back. So set yourself up so that you don't have to, because if somebody comes and says, I really need batteries for something, I'm in a hard way, you're going to give them something. And if all you have is some Eneloops, you're going to begrudgingly still give them some batteries because they need batteries for their flashlight, for their remote, whatever it happens to be. So if you set yourself up for success, keep a junk drawer full of inexpensive batteries you find, that you buy at a store, or stuff that you save from these devices that, they're good, but at least you can get your other devices into your system already and using your rechargeable batteries. So then you get those to throw them away. Call them throwaway batteries, but it's a good way to protect your investment in these. So what are my thoughts on the Eneloop Pros? Well, they're good. So personally, I don't think they're worth the extra cost. I don't care so much about capacity. I'm sure there's some uses out there that you guys absolutely would care about the higher capacity, and that's cool. They look really sharp. They look really cool. They're sleek. I love them. I love the fact that I got this extra little charger with it, which is really good. Oh yeah, I'll give you a little information on that charger before I forget. It'll do 2 AA's in 2 hours, or it'll do 4 in 4 hours, and you can do either 2 AA's or 2 AAA's and split the difference. 3 hours for 2 AA. Anyway, so it's not a bad charger. It's not as fast as my PowerX or whatever that I have in the house that I really like. I'm going to get another one of those too, because if something happens to it, I will be a sad, sad camper. But to me, honestly, I think I'm going to stick with buying the white Eneloop batteries. If I can get these for the same price, yeah, I'll probably buy them, because the other considerations, if these come down in price, I'll probably switch over to the black, because to me, the difference between 500 and 2,000 recharging cycles and the difference of losing 15% in 1 year as to 30% over 10, that's not that big of a deal to me. But to me, it all comes down to cost. I know Eneloop batteries are Eneloop batteries are Eneloop batteries almost anywhere, except for a while there was some fake ones being put out on the market. I'm not really sure how we counteract that. But that being said, if you buy your Eneloop from a reliable, reputable source, you should be good to go. And for me, it all comes down to the cost per unit. So wherever I can find the cheapest, most inexpensive Eneloop batteries per battery, that's where I'm going to buy them. The bigger the package I got to buy, I'm okay with that if it breaks down the cost a little more. I don't mind having a few of these, so if I ever come into something I need a little extra capacity, sure, I will. But I don't think I'm going to buy any more of these black ones. I'm happy with the white ones. I'm happy with my Eneloop system that I have. If you guys have checked these out, let me know. Down the road, probably next month, we'll have a weekend workshop where I think I'm going to use some little remote control cars that my wife has at the preschool. Going to bring them home and we're going to do some battery draining testing. We're going to put the white beside the black, and we're also, for fun, going to put in my Kirkland brand and my Sunbeam Dollar Tree brand, and we're going to see what kind of life we get out of these batteries, cost comparison. And you know, again, who doesn't like talking about batteries? I know I do, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't like listening to me talk about batteries, so I appreciate that. All right, guys, if you've got any tips, if you use any brands of rechargeable batteries that you like better, or maybe something you'd like me to throw into the test, some type of brand of battery I don't use, I might try that. I would love suggestions. A ton of the content that I get for these videos comes from suggestions from you guys. So keep it coming. Throw it in the comments below. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Go by toolmantim.co. All of that jazz. You know I appreciate it. And as always, guys, you know, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week. And Tim here. Welcome back to the workshop where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. We're getting started here on Sunday night talking tools. And if you're new to this community, I'm sure any of you guys are watching this that are in here live. Most of you already know who I am and what I'm all about. But if you're watching this on the replay, you can always go by toolmantim.co. That's toolmantim.co to find out everything there is to know about who I am, the community we're building here, the really cool tool reviews we do, and the 5 videos a week we share. So, here I am. It's nice to see everyone back once again. I always enjoy people dropping by. Real quick, guys, I was going to share a few different things that's on the go this week with me, but there seems to be, so if you guys could let me know, whoever ends up watching this later on, if you get notifications for this live stream, because I've been scheduling my live streams, and when I go in to click on them, they say that they're scheduled for December 31st, 1969. So if anybody isn't getting notifications for these, let me know. That's why I've been doing this, is to work these bugs out and get better at this sort of thing. But the first couple I scheduled work perfect. When I click go live, it gives me a countdown. It says you're going live now. And the last few, even though I scheduled them for today, they end up showing up as December 31st, 1969. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what caused it. I don't know what was going on there, but either way, no big deal. All right, so how's everybody's week been? I know I have had a pretty busy week. We ended up taking a 3-day weekend, which really just meant a 3-day week for me to end up working around the house and enjoying myself. So we had a really good time with that. I ended up working on the siding. Spent a really long day outside in the sun yesterday working and just trying to get the siding done. The siding is now officially done on the garage. Perfect. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Because like I said, I'm not sure what is going on, why the scheduling dating thing isn't working, but I'm going to dig into it and we'll have more of these bugs worked out for next week. And if you're in here, let me know what you think of the signal as well. I've been having some kind of 4G LTE issues today. Everything seems to be slowed to a crawl, which could have to do with the heat. I have no idea. But anyway, John, thanks for letting me know that. At least the notification went through, although it should have went through. Normally there's a notice ahead of time, but whatever, no big deal. But we got the siding done on the garage slash studio here this weekend, so that was huge. With all the extra insulation, it's quite a bit quieter in here when I'm filming, which is really nice. Going to be easier to heat this winter, so I may not need to resort to the green screen for filming some of my videos, so that's all right too. The new natural or propane heater I put in last winter, I'll be able to run it, then turn it off when I film, so when it gets dead cold, we'll be able to get in here and still film, so that's really good. So I figured I'd start off with you guys and share a few video ideas that I have kind of just mulling around in my head, some different things. So anybody, if you get inspired or have any video ideas you want to throw at me while I'm yammering on and talking and sharing with you, just throw them out there. But the first one, I don't know if anybody out there has picked one of these up yet or not, and DeWalt really needs to get off their butt and put one of these together. But I've seriously been eyeing up the Milwaukee Top Off. 175 watt generator that basically runs off your existing Milwaukee batteries. And number one, I really got my eye on one. I want to pick one up. I don't have any Milwaukee gear anymore, but I think I'm just going to have to pull the trigger and pick one up with a battery and a charger just to test this stuff out. They're just too darn slick to not try. So you guys know I'm into emergency preparedness and, being prepared for power outages and that sort of thing. So I get this really kind of wacky idea to kind of push that Milwaukee Top Off as far as I can push it. Like I said, it's good for 175 watts. And I want to see what kind of emergency setup that we can get out of that. Can we run a small fan, a couple of lamps, definitely a Wi-Fi router, a USB phone charger, all of that kind of stuff. So basically, you could kind of, who knows how crazy we could get with it, but I have this suspicion that with that top off, we could get enough juice using LED battery or LED lights and that sort of thing to at least have a really, really rudimentary living room to live in, to stay in, that sort of thing. I mean, you're definitely not going to get any heat or any cooling out of one of those, but you could at least get lights, information. You could plug in maybe a little radio if it's an emergency. Have your Wi-Fi up so you'll have some data coming through. You can definitely charge your communication devices, so I really like that. Now, here's the crazy part. Everybody always wants to know, if it's cold outside, they want to be able to have coffee, and if it's hot outside, they might want to have ice. Now, I don't know how well this will work or if it'll work. Heated coffee mugs and coffee cups and stuff like that. And there are some 12 volt and some real low wattage ones that you can plug in. They take about 15 minutes to get something up hot enough that you could, drink it. It may not be a piping hot cup of coffee, but in the middle of winter, if you're absolutely dying for a cup of coffee, one of these would work. So we're going to try one of them. That's part of it too. And I've been looking at one of these low wattage Igloo ice makers. They're an Igloo 101. And they literally top out at 160 watts. So in theory, you might be able to run one of them tiny ice makers off of a Milwaukee battery. So I thought, anyway, it's worth giving it a shot. I'm going to run it through its paces. I'm going to get one ordered. I got a whole list of stuff I got coming that I'm going to do some new reviews and that sort of stuff on. So, but down the road, that's going to be the next one. I'd love to give that a shot. And then my buddy Eric, the one who sent me a whole bunch of stuff for the Amish DeWalt tools. Well, he just sent me two new ones, and one of them's really cool. The first one's a scooter, which was, it's just really neat. It's a battery-powered scooter, and it runs off a DeWalt battery. But the next one was one of their homemade inverter. It's an inverter. It's a 300-watt inverter that'll run off a DeWalt battery. I can't find it anywhere on the internet. I may end up having to get him to order one and ship it up to me because I think I could have way too much fun. Basically, 300 watts you can draw out of a DeWalt battery. It looks just like your typical, if you guys know your automotive inverters, that they're too powerful to just plug into a cigarette lighter. So you would end up hooking them in directly to your battery. Well, that's what it looks like, except it has a sleeve on the top or a little compartment to accept a 20 volt DeWalt battery. So I think it's about 150 bucks American, but I think I could have a lot of fun with that. So down the road, I'm going to have to pull that one back in and do another Amish DeWalt kind of video series. So I don't know. Anyway, to me, that seems pretty cool. Now, if you one other well, I thought since you guys are kind of on the inside loop here, I thought I'd share some other video ideas that I'm kicking around with you. But if you guys follow the comments in the YouTube videos here quite often, you'll see a guy named Tom who shares with me a ton of information. He's a real successful handyman that does a lot of really cool stuff. He has kind of a certain amount of money he wants to make every day. He hits that goal, he's happy. Anyway, he's into all kinds of different gadgets, always recommending different tools to me. So one thing you guys are going to see later on this week, well, on Tuesday, of course, the Toolbox Tuesday video is going to be the magnetic bit sleeves, the ones that look like a really big pencil eraser, those little ones that we used to chew on when we were kids. If you chewed your regular eraser off, you'd use this one to slide on. Anyway, I've been testing that out for a month, and spoiler alert, of course, I love them. But anyway, they're really slick, really cheap Amazon items, so you'll see a review coming out for that. But something that's a little bit off the wall and out of the ordinary, he just bought a cheap kind of, I think it was an Amazon battery charger that he has set up on a timer, 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. Now, disclaimer, I'm not recommending doing this. However, he claims, hey John, how are you? I got to get a bigger screen out here. I keep saying it, I'm going to do it, but it's so hard to read some of those. But anyway, so he has just a cheap Amazon charger with a cheap timer plugged into the wall, and it cycles the charger on and off every 15 minutes, and he's able to recharge alkaline batteries. Now, like I said, I'm not recommending this. Will I test it to be a guinea pig for us? Sure. Have I watched some other videos with mixed results? Absolutely. But if anybody who's watching this after the fact, or you guys are in here live, if you've tried your hand at recharging alkaline batteries, let me know. I remember when I was probably in junior high, I'm thinking, there was a product, and I think it was Canadian even, that was on the market that claimed to be able to recharge regular alkaline batteries. So we'll see. Honestly, I don't care if it works or doesn't work. I have a good collection of rechargeable Eneloop batteries, but I'm always looking for crazy, cool ways. Like if you end up with a real, kind of shit hits the fan, kind of out of the ordinary power outage, we might need to rely on trying to recharge alkaline batteries. So I'm going to test it out. I'll be the guinea pig for us. We'll see where that ends up going. Which, anyway, I love doing foolish stuff like that. I think I got it from my grandfather. He used to fix generators and alternators, and he used to have a whole bunch of rigged up kind of battery chargers. And anyway, as long as you guys don't hear, a local YouTuber blown up in a garage explosion when trying to recharge alkaline batteries, you guys know I'll be all right. So a few other ideas that I'm working on for some videos coming up. Another one is my 5 favorite fasteners. You guys have seen a few of those before. It'll probably work its way into a money-making minute video. I've got like my normal screw-in white drywall plugs. I got my snap-off hinge, the hinge anchors. You guys have seen those, I'm sure. But if you guys have any anchor-type hardware that you really recommend, throw it in the comments or share it with me tonight or send it to me in a PM or whatever, because I'm looking to test out some more stuff. But because I got a top 5 video. I love my 3M Velcro strips as well. They'll be in that list. Just got to adjust here a little bit, guys. Hey, Ted, you made it. Nice to see you, buddy. You're the emoji king. I always love that. There's nobody makes me smile better than Ted. Always has a way to make me smile. So, yeah, just I don't know if you just slid in or not, Ted, but I'm just sharing with you guys a few video ideas that I got that I'm kind of working through down the road. Here's another one, and maybe this would be absolutely boring to you guys, but I find it kind of interesting and intriguing. But I thought about doing a video on all the different companies that DeWalt owns. I know it's been merger after merger after merger. They've got Canadian companies, American companies anyway, and I just thought it'd be really fun to do a quick, no-frills video laying all that out. Yes, sir, got to hit you up when I'm at you. Sounds good. So, funny story. My old neighbor, I love UPS, and when they first came to my area in Nova Scotia, where I was born anyway, he swore that UPS was pronounced UPS. I know that would be like pronouncing KFC as KFC or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, he literally, the entire time I lived next door to him, always referred to it as UPS. It wasn't a joke. It was just the way it went. So when you go to Ups, Ted, give me a holler, hit me up, let me know. So I always enjoyed that. But yeah, so I don't know. It got me thinking there a while back when DeWalt, well, this is probably 10 years ago, but they bought out Wiser locks, which were always a really good company. And then they changed their Wiser keyways to the Quickway ones, or the Quickset ones. They're still a good, anyway. I don't want to get into it too far down the road tonight, but I thought it'd be a lot of fun. There's some Canadian companies, if you guys are familiar with Beaver and Rockwell, Delta, of course, too, but they all got folded into that same company. So it might be fun to just talk about it, you know, just a little bit. I know they bought Sears Craftsman, or at least there's some, I don't know if they bought them or if they kind of merged with them, but they have the rights to make Craftsman tools as well. So there's that. And I thought the Husky hang-all straps, they are my go-to for framing or hanging cinch cord. Oh, yeah. Well, that is, see, this is why I love this. I love recommendations like this. So I'm going to check those out. And if is that Husky, is that the brand that Home Depot carries? Because if it is, I'll check them out for sure. Always looking for neat things. I'm a tech guy as well. So there's some other channels that I follow quite a bit. Tech Moan, he's an older British guy who get him at Home Depot. Nice to see you, Ryan, by the way. Tech Moan's into vintage electronics. He's over in Britain. And then there's another channel very similar called the 8-Bit Guy, and he's into that kind of stuff as well. And I seen some really neat brackets he had the other day. I don't know if you guys have seen them. They're just a square, and they drill to the wall, and then they have like a little tip that sticks out, and then you can put a zip tie in behind it, and it seems to work really well for like organizing wires and that sort of thing. I worked for American Lock before Master Lock bought them. Oh, American Lock, they're all over the place in the oil patch up here, even still. Those blue heavy-duty locks, they were all key to like. Those were American locks. Really nice, top quality. I don't know if they got, if they're better or worse. Normally, I hate to say it, but when Master Lock touches things, they tend to fall apart or the quality goes down the shitter. I might be wrong in this case, and you can fill me in if I am, but I know I wasn't real keen on a lot of the Master Lock stuff. And if you guys watch the Lockpicking Lawyers YouTube channel, he likes to rake the Master Lock products across the hot coals all the time. So there's that. They were the best. I was their electrician. Got a charge out of that job. Stop it, Tim. My goodness, stop it with your stupid corny humor. Anyway, another one I thought maybe I would talk about is comparing the different tool warranties. I thought that would be kind of interesting. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with them, but I thought it'd be really neat. I did an expert counsel segment a while back on that exact topic, on why you would pick one tool company over another. And a big portion of that was based on the warranties that are out there. So I thought, hey, why not do a video comparing the different tool warranties? And again, if you guys have had any good, bad, or ugly experiences with any of the tools, their warranties, that kind of thing, fill me in on it, because I love sharing that kind of stuff. I ended up, like you guys know, I've been a DeWalt guy for a long time, and just recently I've sent 2 tools away. I did an intro video on it. You guys haven't seen that yet, obviously. But depending on how things go, it'll either be a positive or a negative video. I hope it's going to be a positive video. I'm sure it will. But we're going to see. We're getting really close to the 2.5 business weeks that they quoted me on my chainsaw, because the oiler shit the bed, pardon the French. So it needed to be replaced, repaired, that kind of thing. So it's in Edmonton now, which is about 3 hours away from me. Haven't heard back from them yet, so I hope that's a good sign. I'm not sure. I was actually at the business a couple weeks ago. I didn't really love the store, but apparently their customer service and their repair work's really good. So we'll see where we end up with that. But it's going to be an interesting video either way. But yeah, I was thinking maybe compare all the major tool brands on their warranties. And if you guys have any personal experience, let me know what you think. Because again, I really only have experience with DeWalt. And the only other way I can share experience with the other tool companies is through your guys' experience. So let me know. We'll fill it out. So if you guys follow me on social, you know I tried an experiment yesterday with Gorilla Seal All waterproof tape, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'm not sure yet, but I gotta say, it really didn't impress me. I love Gorilla Glue. I love Gorilla Wood Glue. Those have both been really good products for me. But some of the other Gorilla branded stuff that I've tried has been a little bit hit or miss. Now, me and the girls got in the pool yesterday, and we decided that we needed to find where this hole was. We have a small leak. I bought that great big roll for 20 bucks. It's 10 feet of tape. And if it's in the sun, it's really sticky. Try to stick it together and pull it apart. It worked. I watched videos from the Gorilla Company. I listened to personal testimonials from other people, and they all said, yep, you can take it down underwater, stick it, cover the hole, and you're all set. Okay, no problem. So we tried it, and honestly, it really didn't stick that well. Like, it was okay, I guess. I tried a second piece from further in the roll. I thought maybe I got a dud of a roll. I left another piece out in the sun to test it. It got sticky. It's down there, it's sticking, but if I really wanted to, I could go down there and pull it back off. Like, it just didn't stick that well. And I'm thinking we probably have another hole anyway, because we're still losing a little bit of water from underneath the pool somewhere. So I'm gonna have to get in and, you know, get my swimming gear on and put some goggles on and start searching for another hole. But so far, and you guys will see the results of this down the road a bit, but I'm just really not that happy so far with how sticky that Gorilla Seal All stuff was. Now, if you guys have had better experience, let me know. Maybe this one will get better. Maybe I just ended up getting a dud of a roll. But for 20 bucks for 10 feet of the stuff, it would sure be nice to know that you didn't get, you know, a dud. But whatever, it is what it is. Another one I got on the go. If you guys like goof off as much as I do, I know I like to goof off sometimes, but people have been sending me all these tips for what else it's good for. I mean, for me, I've just, you know, my intro, if you spilt paint on vinyl siding, your kid tried to help you out and made a mess, well, and you need to get rid of it, use goof off. But I've had a bunch of other people, of course, everybody throws everything at you. I had one lady who said, spray nine's way better. And, you know, maybe in her personal experience, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But all I can say is Spray 9 was always my go-to cleaner for the front of a vehicle. Stuff got stuck on, but you would spray it on there, you'd let it sit, I'd pressure wash the hell out of it, and it still wouldn't come off very well. I just didn't like it. I like Spray 9, it's good, but I gotta tell you, since Ted sent me, or was it Ken? Sorry, I believe it was Ken. Anyway, one of you guys will shoot me for that, and I apologize, but they sent in the tip of using it for, yeah, it was Ken, I'm sure it was anyway, using it to get the bugs off the front grille of your vehicle. Well, all I can say is, and I'll do a video on this one too, but when I sprayed it on there, I let it sit for a minute, it basically just wiped off with a rag. It was awesome. Josh from Gander Flight, if you follow him, he also sent me a tip that said to try a damp dryer sheet. I haven't tried that yet. If you guys have tried that, it might work good. I'm not sure. I'd even try to make a combination of goof off and the dryer sheet, but you know. But the one lady said, go with Spray 9. I just really didn't, it doesn't work that good for me. Another one they said was it gets gum out of your hair. My twins won't volunteer to let me put gum in their hair and test it out, so we're going to go get an old baby doll, try that. And they said that a Sharpie on the wall, the professional strength stuff, at least will take it off like that. We're going to test out the regular stuff that I use that's biodegradable and safe because I like using it without wearing gloves. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. So also this weekend, after I got done working really hard out in the sun, I decided to order a few new tools. And I thought I would share with you guys some of the incoming stuff I have. If you've heard good or bad about it, great. But I would, you know, any input you have, and maybe you'll know you'll be seeing some new reviews coming up as well. But the big one is the Gen Tent. And if you saw, you guys will see a top 10 generator accessory video coming up soon. I mentioned that in there because it's been recommended to me by a few different community members. But basically what it looks like is a fancy tent that's made to fit 10,000 watt generators. It fits on, it looks like a canopy or like something you'd have in your backyard, except smaller, that you would sit under when it's raining and that sort of thing. And it's made to mount onto your generator up and over, and it allows you to keep it outdoors in inclement weather and let it run without having to worry about stuff. RV Odd Couple on YouTube, he just patched holes in his rubber roof with Gorilla tape. I'm gonna check that out, John, because there's a bunch of different types of Gorilla tape. I'm gonna see if that one might work. Whatever, I'm willing to try anything because this was supposed to work underwater. Maybe if I drain, I have no interest in draining the pool at all, but you know, I wanted something that I could stick under there. But if it works on an RV roof, man, it's got to be good. And I'm willing to take it and buy another roll from a different supplier just to see if maybe the one I got just wasn't sticky like it's supposed to be. I don't know. I really don't. Like, I was really excited for it, and it might still be good to, you know, I'm going to try another piece. I got to get in the pool tomorrow and try it again. But honestly, like, you could still pick at the edges and kind of pull it up a little bit. So, and the worst thing is where the hole is, I really can't tell whether it's working, not working. Anyway, we'll see. All I know is I still have water on the other side of the pool on the ground. It kind of works its way down underneath. We'll figure it out. I'll let you know. I'm going to check out the RV Odd Couple, see what their video had. I love finding other YouTubers to follow. I always enjoy that. So what else did I got coming? Oh, of course, I know yellow and black. I just came across this new set of DeWalt security bits. So I've been prepping the side of the house for siding. Started yesterday, and I had to take, we don't even have cable, haven't had cable at the house ever since we've owned it. Long before that, I'm sure. I don't even think cable's a thing in our town anymore, but there is a cable line running to the house, and I found a box that I never noticed before on the side of the house I had to take off, and of course it had a security bit in there. I got creative and drilled it out and hauled the whole damn thing off. But that got me thinking, I don't own any security bits. And I haven't seen Joseph in here tonight, but I am sure Joseph would have a recommendation for security bits. But I just happened to be searching security bits in Amazon and found a really nice DeWalt clamshell package that'll work with my DeWalt organizational structure. So I got one of those on the go too. And don't forget to hit the like button. Oh, thanks, Ted. I appreciate that very much. You know I do. Sometimes forget to say that for myself. So what else do I have on the go? You guys know I really like the PowerX battery charger. It's awesome. It works great, but I'm paranoid that I'm either going to cut the cord in half or it's going to, you know, whatever, it's going to end up breaking down. So I wanted to order another one to have as a backup. And I was watching Project Farm the other night, and he was doing a comparison video on AA batteries, something I've been looking at doing down the road anyway. And this one is, I've got to read it for you. It's the PowerX C9000. And you know what? It's only about 10 bucks more than the traditional PowerX charger I've been using, but it's a charger analyzer. It has a little LCD screen on there that'll tell you exactly how many milliamp hours are in there altogether. It will tell you how long it takes to drain, all of that information. So it basically is just a top-notch, better charger for almost the same amount of money. And I'm going to be able to do some side-by-side comparisons of different types of AA, AAA batteries. So if you guys have recommendations for those you want me to check out, because you've probably heard my tip before, but I always keep cheap batteries on hand for when my kids come and say, hey Dad, I need batteries. So I give them the throwaways because I'm not sending them my expensive Eneloops. But I got my white Eneloops, my black Eneloops. I've got a big package of Kirkland brand from Costco. Those are the ones I give to the kids a lot. And I used to get the white and red Sunbeam ones from Dollar General, which used to be everything is $1.25 or less in Canada. And I just went the other day, and I'm sure because of inflation, the everything under $1.25 or anything $1.25 and under, the sign was removed. You can still see it faded. So prices are going up. But honestly, I don't really like the Sunbeam batteries. They were just cheap enough to keep on hand that when my kids needed some throwaways. But we're going to try out the, maybe we'll try recharging some of those alkalines as well. But, you know, excuse me, guys, just an idea. Also, if you guys have noticed, or maybe not, I don't know, but the new iPhones, we've had them for almost a year now, the 12, they're running on the USB-C platform, which is great, kinda, except that the lightning cord that plugs into your iPhone all have the little USB-C adapters on them. And when we bought our Anchor and our cordless battery packs, none of them have a damn USB-C. They all have a USB-C input port on them, but none of them have an output port. Say that 10 times fast. So I just ordered the Anchor PowerCore Slim 10,000, and it has a USB-C port on there that you can plug your phone into. We need something like that because it drives my wife crazy. She can't plug hers in the living room at times, and we need something that will, you know, in an emergency, be able to plug directly in. I always liked the old style, just the straight up USB, but of course they have that different design on them now, and it makes it really difficult to get a power brick or power pack, power, whatever you want to call it, that'll actually work with it. So we got one of them coming in. Keep an eye out for a review on that as well. And if you guys follow me again on social media, I know some of you do, you'll see that I have a hell of a time keeping a good pair of safety sunglasses. And so I really wish I could remember, but it was somebody on MeWe who recommended to me to try the Crossfire safety sunglasses. So if anybody's used them, let me know what you think. I got a pair of them coming in to test out. Most of this stuff is a write-off for the business anyway, and now I'm sure I can write it off again, not twice, but at least another portion of it. Anyway, I needed a new pair. I ordered a pair. We're going to see how durable they are, if they hold up any better. But if nothing else, I can order them directly from Amazon and have a stockpile of them here on hand. So that'll be helpful. And if you guys seen my post, Tim, are you sure the notification went out? Yeah, so Ted, you might have missed this. There is something going on with my live streaming notifications. So I scheduled it. I booked it for tonight at 8 o'clock Mountain Time, which is my local time. Everything looked fine. I shared the link on social. When I went in about 10 minutes beforehand, I get set up for my my thing there. It ended up saying December 31st, 1969. It's got to be a bug, so I apologize. I thought I had everything worked out. I'm going to do some digging this week. If anybody else sees why that date might change like that, I don't know. But I'm going to refresh myself on how to properly schedule these live streams so people know. Cool. Yeah. So sorry about that. It was a pain in the butt. Yeah, I don't know why it does it, because normally when I have it scheduled properly, when I click on that with 5 minutes to go, it'll give me a countdown. And I haven't been getting that, which means there's something screwed up in the scheduling. So I'll let you know next week. If you guys see it, just pop me a link anywhere you want to let me know that it's working, that it showed up, that it's scheduled properly, all that jazz. 9-volt rechargeable batteries. I've been looking for some of them. I ended up settling on the EBL 9-volt rechargeable setup. So we'll see how those end up working out. I'm pretty excited. I need something that's rechargeable. Just simply because now I have a bunch of gadgets. I've got my infrared thermometer. I've got my decibel meter and a couple of stud finders that all run on 9-volt. I tried to keep everything to AA, AAA, but it just didn't happen. So we ended up, I ordered this EBL 9-volt rechargeable battery setup, Canadian time. Yeah. Hey, Mountain Time's American time too. Well, you know how that goes, but I don't know. When I post on social media, I try to do Central Time because I think, you know, that kind of follows down through Texas and that whole, anyway. I don't know. What do you guys, if anybody, you can't win. You can't make everybody happy. I don't know. Maybe I should list it in Eastern and Mountain Time when I put it on there. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. And I got a tri-split. I can't even pronounce this, but I've had my eye on Amazon for a while, but it's Deb Winnels. It's DEBWENILS, and it's a heavy-duty 14.3 50-foot lighted end extension cord, but it has a 3-way splitter built into the end of it, so that'll be great. It's late as hell for me. Yeah, I know, but you got that beautiful, I'd be sitting outside watching the sunset every night out there anyway, so. But we're going to test out this extension cord. Maybe I can add it to the recommended products because I've been looking for a good heavy-duty extension cord with a tri-splitter built into it. I found this one. Anyway. Something really cool, really exciting tonight. Just before I logged into the video, we hit 1,700 subscribers. I love putting that kind of stuff in my videos because when I go back and watch it down the road, it's like, oh, look how far we've came. It's really awesome. Like the other night I watched my 100 subscriber special, me and the girls, and it was, I don't know, cringe, whatever. It was just fun. It's cool to see where things have gone, where things have gotten to. So I enjoy that. What else we got on the go here? You guys, this week, I'm going to try to give you guys some sneak peeks in this live stream as kind of a reward for checking in with me, chilling out with me for a bit. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to have the Money Making Minute video is going to be the top 5 grilling accessories. Ryan Collette, you're going to recognize a few of the products in that video, guaranteed. On Tuesday, we've got the magnetic bit sleeves that I told you about that Tom recommended. I love that product. You guys are going to see a cool little review for that. And then on Wednesday, I've got the Lambro dryer vent as the Tool Time gear review. I love that thing. It is really cool. I needed something out of the ordinary that suited a really specific need. So you guys will get to see that review coming up on Tool Time on Wednesday. So I really enjoyed that. What else did I want to tell you tonight? Oh, yeah. And for those of you guys who are still hanging around, you guys, Joseph got me to spend more money than I don't have. I understand, Ted. He's really good at that, isn't he? Joseph, he has some incredible tools that he loves. He works with them all the time. Just picked up he's working in a big hotel doing a ton of work on top of all the property management that he already owns. So he's keeping busy, but that man knows his tools. And I love watching his channel. It's Millis Construction for anybody who hasn't before. He's the best at it. Yeah, he is really good. He's really good at getting you to spend money too, you know. But yeah, before I forget, I don't always do a good enough job telling you guys where all we can interact on social media. But for those of you who aren't familiar with some of the platforms I'm on, like I'm obviously on Facebook. So there's the, it's the All Seasons Maintenance group on there. It started out as my business page and it's kind of morphed over into a hybrid. Instagram, you guys can find me on toolman__Tim. For being an old man, I really enjoy Instagram. There's something about it. I'm always seeing some really cool tools on there that I enjoy. There's some neat influencers and social media people on there that I really enjoy as well. But for some of you, I don't know, maybe Ted, I don't know if you follow me on any of these or not either, but there's a few other alternative social media platforms that I'm on through the Survival Podcast community. It's where I've reached out and learned about some of these, and I really, really enjoy them. But honestly, my absolute favorite right now is Float, and that's flote.app. They don't have an app, it's just float.app, and it's kind of like a Twitter and Facebook hybrid. I've ended up building quite a little following. I got like 750 followers over there. I really enjoy it. And the cool thing is the CEO and his wife, message retracted. That's okay. The CEO and his wife, they're co-CEO, co-founders, they're accessible. Aaron and Kingsley are on there. If you have any trouble, they'll take the time to explain to you what's going on. And they're just awesome people. I'd love to get to Float Fest down in Texas maybe next year. I would love to. But if you haven't checked out Float yet, go over there and find me as Toolman Tim. We'll interact. I love the platform. And I've been on MeWe for, it must be almost 3 years now, which is almost a straight up Facebook. Is that why am I on those? Well, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons is the fact that big tech, all of the different ones have been censoring quite a bit, and there's a good chance that at some point I'll get shut down. Some of my friends will get shut down. Most of the communities I'm part of and follow, they end up over on those platforms as well, and I really like them. I like Facebook. I've been on there a lot, but I've really pulled back on how much I end up chatting on there now. I still interact and I'm not going to leave it, but if I ever get the boot, well, I've got other places to go. But Float and MeWe, I love. Oh, well, I don't know, Ted. I don't know what happened there. I've got it set up so that all the messages go through, but sometimes there's gremlins in the machines with this stuff. So I don't know. I'll look at it in the morning. It usually takes about 24 hours for these videos to process, and then I can check back on the live chat, which is kind of cool. It's not available immediately, but soon after it is. Man, I have gone on a long time tonight. So, question marks. Yeah. I don't know. Testing it again. I don't know. That is so weird. I don't know why it would do that. Because like I said, I've got all the security systems set up so that everything will come through. Once in a while that happens. I know I had a community post I did a while back about a homemade pool filter that I used. And I called it a redneck pool filter. And every time I put the word redneck in my post, YouTube would delete it automatically. So then I removed it and put the word homemade, and it came through. So sometimes the censorship, the filters and that sort of thing, they get a little carried away and they haul something out that shouldn't. Either that or you're dropping some F-bombs in here, Ted, but it's not like you. So, all right, guys. Like I said, we got a big week coming up. The 3 videos, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And if you guys like to listen to me more than you like to look at me, because I can understand that, Also, you can check out the podcast, which is just a straight up audio version of all my videos for the week combined. And you can pull that up on toolmantim.co. And it is weird, Ted. I really don't know what's going on. But guys, I think that's it for me this week. I don't know if there's anybody else had any questions out there, anything else you wanted to throw at me. But we got a busy week coming up. Another reason to use other platforms. Absolutely, John, you are 100% correct. You never know what's going to happen, especially when we're live. Although this one has been a lot better off than some of them. I had issues there a couple weeks ago with the video not wanting to go landscape. And yeah, anything can happen when we're live, hey? But that's okay, especially when you got bots doing that. You have a good night, Ted. All right, guys, I'm going to call her quits there. That's the end of this one. Thanks for dropping by. I always enjoy you stopping in. I appreciate you. It's humbling that you guys are willing to come in and hang out, and I love it. You guys are my friends. I enjoy it. You're part of the community. Thanks a lot, guys. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week. Thanks again, guys, for dropping by the weekly workshop. A new edition drops every week, so keep an eye out. And if you're looking for a solution to such problems as I spilled paint on vinyl siding, or I can't get this heavy picture to stay on the wall, stop by toolmantim.co and check out the Today's Tool section, where I share products and tools that have either made me money or saved me money personally or in my long-running year-round handyman business. And if you found value in this content, please take a moment and share it on your social platform of choice. And as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week.